Actor and director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle have died in a, quote, tragic event. Sources tell CBS News the couple were found dead in their home in the West Los Angeles neighborhood of Brentwood.
In a chilling thriller, the sudden deaths of Hollywood icon Rob Reiner and his wife inside their quiet Brentwood home send shockwaves across the world. What begins as an apparent tragedy quickly curdles into something darker. As detectives peel back layers of privilege and celebrity, they uncover bitter family rifts, whispered addictions, and nights marked by fear. Friends vanish, alibis fracture, and the line between victim and villain blurs. Behind the cameras and accolades lies a household ruled by silence, rage, and secrets. Fame becomes the disguise, and every revelation tightens the noose around a truth no one wants exposed. Rob Reiner and his wife's tragic death. The entertainment world was plunged into profound shock and sorrow with the sudden and violent passing of Hollywood icon Rob Reiner, 78, and his beloved wife, Michelle Singer Reiner, 68. On the afternoon of Sunday, December 14, 2025, a medical aid request brought the Los Angeles Fire Department to their stately residence in the affluent Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles. Upon arrival at the home on South Chadbourne Avenue, emergency responders made a grim discovery. The couple was found deceased inside. The initial scene quickly escalated from a medical call to a full-blown criminal investigation. Sources familiar with the ongoing probe would later indicate that the victims had sustained lacerations consistent with knife wounds, immediately prompting the Los Angeles Police Department's Robbery Homicide Division to take over the case as an apparent homicide. This tragic and brutal turn of events has devastated the Reiner family and their legions of friends and fans. Rob Reiner, the acclaimed director of classics like When Harry Met Sally and The Princess Bride, and his photographer wife Michelle, who he met while filming the former, were known as one of Hollywood's enduring couples. Their partnership, cemented by their 1989 marriage, spanned decades of creative and political collaboration. The family swiftly released a heartbroken statement confirming the news, expressing their profound sorrow and asking for privacy during this unbelievably difficult time. The tragedy marks a heartbreaking and unexpected end to the life of a director, actor, and activist whose career profoundly shaped American culture and touched countless lives. The community now grapples with the question of who could have committed such a heinous act against such a well-regarded couple. The initial official police statements, while confirming the discovery of the bodies and the RHD's involvement, remained tight-lipped, emphasizing the ongoing nature of the investigation and that they had not officially confirmed the identities of the deceased or the circumstances publicly. This reticence, combined with the extreme nature of the crime, fueled immediate, intense speculation across news platforms and social media. The public was left reeling, anxiously awaiting official facts in a case that seemed ripped from a dark film script rather than real life. The first few hours set the stage for a sprawling, complex inquiry that would soon point toward a deeply personal inter-family tragedy. Mayor Karen Bass of Los Angeles and California Governor Gavin Newsom publicly offered condolences, a testament to Reiner's cultural and political significance. The first few hours set the stage for a sprawling, complex inquiry that would soon point toward a deeply personal, inter-family tragedy. Initial findings soon revealed the secrets hidden within the family's home. Initial investigations and findings. The immediate findings at the Brentwood estate were deeply troubling, initiating a massive response from the LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division. Patrol officers were initially dispatched after the LAFD found the two bodies, and the designation was promptly changed to an ambulance death investigation, which is the departmental term for a suspicious death discovered by paramedics. Law enforcement sources soon confirmed to multiple news outlets that both victims, later identified as Rob and Michelle Reiner, had suffered fatal stab wounds. The violent nature of the deaths instantly classified the incident as a double homicide. A heavy police presence secured the perimeter of the sprawling mansion property on Sunday evening, marking the start of a meticulous forensic investigation. Detectives were focused on processing the scene for crucial evidence, including the weapon, which was not immediately disclosed if it had been recovered. The official LAPD statements were reserved, confirming only that 2 decedents had been found and that the RHD was investigating. But publicly, they stopped short of naming a suspect or detailing the precise circumstances or motive. However, behind the scenes, the inquiry quickly homed in on a person of interest. Multiple sources, speaking to outlets like People and TMZ, alleged that the couple's own son, Nick Reiner, was being questioned in connection with the horrific crime. It is a fact that police were actively questioning Nick Reiner, the couple's middle child, in the hours following the discovery. Though as of the initial reporting, no official arrest had been publicly announced, nor had a formal suspect been named by the authorities. The reports of familial involvement, though unverified by official police confirmation at the time, sent a secondary wave of shock through the already reeling community. The investigation quickly began to weave a complex narrative, moving beyond a random act of violence to examine deeply personal, perhaps long-simmering family dynamics. The bodies were reportedly discovered by the couple's daughter, Romy Reiner, further adding to the heartbreaking details of the first responders' and family's initial experience. The initial forensic findings, pointing to a stabbing, suggested an up-close and personal attack, giving a chilling dimension to the emerging tragedy. The police continued to stress that all aspects of the case remained open as they sought concrete facts to corroborate the mounting rumors of a domestic tragedy. The initial police press briefing emphasized that a search warrant was secured before detectives fully entered the home, upholding legal procedure for the high-profile location. The police quickly secured a search warrant to meticulously enter the sprawling, high-profile residence. The Grand Mansion holds dark secrets, both rumored and real. Rob's Mansion Hidden Secrets. Rob Reiner's Brentwood Mansion, the scene of the unspeakable tragedy, is situated in one of Los Angeles's most exclusive and private enclaves, a community generally shielded from the harsh realities of violent crime. The location itself, a large, well-appointed property on South Chadbourne Avenue, is a testament to the director's success, a stately home nestled among other celebrity residences. It is a fact that Reiner and Michelle bought the New England-style home from Norman Lear, Reiner's former boss and all-in-the-family creator, in 1991. Beyond the confirmed facts of its location and the recent police presence, the house has become the subject of intense, unverified speculation following the homicides, a common side effect when a high-profile tragedy occurs in a private, wealthy setting. It is widely rumored among neighborhood observers and on various true crime forums that the property held certain eccentricities and architectural secrets typical of a sprawling, custom-built celebrity home. For instance, unconfirmed rumors suggest the existence of a custom-built soundproof screening room designed to be impenetrable and concealed behind a moving wall of books, though this remains an anecdotal, unverified story. Furthermore, in the days immediately following the crime, local neighborhood gossip, purely based on rumor, began to circulate dark tales of mysterious happenings on the property in previous years. One persistent rumor is that the mansion's original owner, long before the Reiners moved in, had commissioned a series of oddly placed, hidden panic rooms that were not listed on the official blueprints, supposedly due to a paranoia about break-ins. It is an unsubstantiated rumor that Rob Reiner himself, known for his activism, had used a seldom-seen lower level of the house as a secret war room for political campaigns, complete with outdated communication equipment, adding to the lore of hidden active spaces within the home. None of these sensational tales of secret rooms, mysterious activities, or odd architectural anomalies have been substantiated by police or property records. The reality of the home, as documented by the ongoing investigation, is that it became a tragic site of violence. The only currently confirmed secret is the fact that the LAPD's RHD has been performing a detailed, painstaking search of every space, known and unknown, to uncover physical evidence that will conclusively determine the timeline and motivation for the tragic events that transpired within its walls. The iconic estate now shadows tragedy, as the Reiner's son's struggles with addiction and turmoil become painfully linked to death. Rob's son's tragic life and connection to death. The investigation into the Reiner homicides quickly drew focus to the couple's son, Nick Reiner, a screenwriter in his early 30s, whose life has been marked by a public and protracted struggle. The fact is that Nick Reiner has openly discussed his long-term battle with addiction and periods of homelessness, a harrowing personal journey that began in his early teens. In a revealing 2016 interview, he spoke candidly about cycling in and out of rehab facilities and spending significant time living on the streets in multiple states, emphasizing the darkness of that period. This personal history of substance abuse and mental health struggles provides a tragic backdrop to his alleged involvement in his parents' deaths. The connection is further underscored by the semi-autobiographical film Being Charlie, which Nick co-wrote with his father directing. The film directly addressed the issues of addiction and recovery, making their relationship and Nick's inner turmoil a matter of public record, a fact that now haunts the narrative of the tragedy. Multiple unverified sources close to the family have shockingly alleged to media outlets that Nick was the one responsible for the fatal stabbings, a claim that remains an unconfirmed rumor by official law enforcement. However, it is a fact that Nick was taken in for questioning by the LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division in the immediate aftermath of the body's discovery, indicating he was, at the very least, a significant person of interest. It is a further fact that police reports confirmed he was later arrested, and booking records showed he was being held on a $4 million bond at the time of the initial reporting, though formal charges were not immediately disclosed. The investigation is actively looking at any potential role he played, whether direct or indirect, and searching for a motive that could link his personal struggles to such an extreme act of violence. The tragedy highlights a devastating private struggle within the famous family, a struggle with addiction and mental health that the Reiners had tried to address and bring to light through their creative work, only for it to tragically intersect with the final moments of their lives. The search for evidence includes reviewing any communications, recent interactions, and the last known whereabouts of Nick Reiner in the days leading up to the homicides, as the authorities work to move beyond rumor and establish the facts of the case. His past comments about struggling to readjust to LA life are now under scrutiny, shedding light on a complex family dynamic shaped by Rob Reiner's famous marriages and children. Rob's love life and family details. Rob Reiner's personal life was deeply shaped by his family and relationships, marked by 2 significant marriages that spanned decades and a family legacy that extended across generations. His first marriage was to the late actress and director Penny Marshall, a union that lasted from 1971 to 1981. During their time together, Reiner embraced the role of father to Marshall's daughter from a previous relationship, Tracy Reiner. Though not biologically related, Rob formed a profound bond with Tracy, guiding and supporting her through her formative years. Tracy grew up seeing Reiner as a devoted father figure, a relationship that remained strong and meaningful throughout her life. Following his divorce from Marshall, Reiner eventually met Michelle Singer, a talented photographer, in 1987. Their connection deepened during the production of When Harry Met Sally, and they married 2 years later in 1989. Their marriage was a long and dedicated partnership, rooted in mutual support and shared family responsibilities. Together, they had 3 children, each of whom pursued paths influenced by the family environment. Their eldest biological child, Jake Reiner, initially explored journalism before moving into acting, reflecting the family's engagement with public and creative endeavors. The middle child, Nick Reiner, became the focus of intense family concern due to his well-documented struggles with addiction. Rob and Michelle dedicated significant effort to supporting Nick through these challenges, navigating the emotional and logistical demands of addiction within a high-profile family. Their youngest child, Romy Reiner, born in 1997, also pursued creative endeavors, including acting and improvisation, demonstrating the family's encouragement of artistic expression. Romy experienced an unimaginable tragedy when she reportedly discovered her parents' bodies on December 14th, adding another layer of heartbreak to an already complex family dynamic. The Reiners represent a multi-generational Hollywood lineage, with Rob as the son of legendary comedian and writer Carl Reiner. Despite public attention, the family maintained strong internal bonds, often presenting a unified front at social events and during advocacy work led by Rob. In recent years, much of the family's focus centered on supporting Nick through his personal struggles, highlighting the close-knit, sometimes challenging nature of their relationships. The Reiners now face the profound and unimaginable challenge of coping with a double homicide within their immediate family, while navigating a level of public scrutiny few families ever endure. Adopted daughter Tracy described her shock, saying, "I came from the greatest family ever." Let's go behind the public success and take a look how Rob Reiner's rise to fame concealed deep, ongoing personal struggles. Rob's rise to fame and hidden struggles. Rob Reiner's journey to becoming one of Hollywood's most acclaimed figures was shaped by both early success and deeply personal challenges. Born into the entertainment world as the son of legendary comedian Carl Reiner, he grew up surrounded by the bright lights of show business, yet he was determined to carve out his own identity. His first major breakthrough came with the role of Michael "Meathead" Stivic on the groundbreaking 1970s sitcom All in the Family that ran from 1971 to 1979. The show, celebrated for tackling social issues head-on, provided Reiner a platform to showcase his comedic timing, intelligence, and ability to handle complex material. His performance earned him 2 Emmy Awards and established him as a rising talent in Hollywood. Yet this early fame brought its own pressures, forcing him to navigate public expectations while discovering his personal and artistic voice. Leveraging his television success, Reiner transitioned to directing, a field where he would make an indelible mark. He directed a string of critically acclaimed films, including the satirical rock mockumentary This Is Spinal Tap, the heartfelt coming-of-age story Stand By Me, the 1987 whimsical fantasy The Princess Bride, and the taut courtroom drama A Few Good Men, released in 1992. These projects reflected both his versatility and his ability to balance humor with emotional depth, earning him respect as a master filmmaker. Yet alongside his professional achievements, Reiner faced intense personal struggles. One of his greatest challenges was his deep concern over his son Nick's battle with addiction. The couple's regret over relying too heavily on experts rather than fully trusting their son's needs inspired the intensely personal 2015 film Being Charlie, which exposed the private anxieties of a father grappling with a life-threatening crisis. Beyond his family, Reiner was a vocal political and social activist, championing progressive causes and often facing scrutiny or division in Hollywood circles. His life, therefore, was defined by a remarkable duality. Towering public achievement contrasted with profound hidden personal struggles, shaping the man behind the fame. His final completed project, the 2023 documentary Albert Brooks, Defending My Life, demonstrates his ongoing passion for celebrating the careers of his peers. His death made Hollywood and Washington mourn, praising his creativity and activism. Tributes by celebrities after death. The news of Rob Reiner's violent death, alongside his wife Michelle, immediately sent shockwaves across Hollywood and Washington, prompting an outpouring of sincere and devastated tributes from celebrities, former collaborators, and political figures. The sheer volume and emotional depth of the public responses were a testament to the colossal impact Reiner had on both the arts and American public life. It is a fact that former U.S. President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama expressed their heartbreak, with the former president noting on X that Reiner's achievements gave the world some of our most cherished stories on screen, while praising his lifelong commitment to putting that belief in goodness into action. Author Stephen King, whose novels Stand By Me and Misery were adapted by Reiner, described him as a wonderful friend, political ally, and brilliant filmmaker, adding, "You always stood by me." The King adaptations alone demonstrate Reiner's versatile genius across genres. Actor Christopher Guest and his wife, Jamie Lee Curtis, who collaborated with Reiner on This Is Spinal Tap and The Princess Bride, released a joint statement that conveyed their shock and sadness over the violent, tragic deaths, emphasizing that their only focus was now on supporting the Reiner children. Actress Kathy Bates, who won an Oscar for her role in Reiner's Misery, offered a profoundly personal tribute, stating that Reiner was brilliant and kind and a man who changed the course of my life, also praising Michelle as a gifted photographer. Director Joe Russo kept his tribute brief and potent, writing simply, "We lost one of the few good men," a clear reference to Reiner's 1992 classic. Actor Josh Gad focused on Reiner's humanitarian side, calling the couple two of the kindest and most caring souls you could ever imagine, underscoring Rob's deep commitment to advocating for those who had no voices. The tributes collectively painted a picture of a generous, fiercely intelligent, and creatively gifted man whose dual career as an actor and director left an indelible mark on his peers. The universal theme across all the eulogies was not just the celebration of a professional life, but the mourning of a good man and a compassionate partner, whose tragic end has left a void in Hollywood and beyond. Other tributes came from former Speaker Nancy Pelosi, actor Elijah Wood, and actor James Woods, who noted that political differences never interfered with his personal respect for Rob. The Reiner Mansion tragedy continues under investigation, showing that even the most celebrated families can face shocking loss. How could fame and closeness fail to prevent such unimaginable devastation? Share your thoughts in the comments below.